Lying in here isn't the best. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit better. Whatever. Who's good potato? Spin the leak here. Time for a movie review. This time it's going to be a rapid review of the Scream franchise. The reason this one's going to be a rapid review is I feel that in order to appreciate them all past the first movie, you need to kind of bounce around and get a feel for them all as a whole. So, where to begin? I love the Scream franchise. It's probably my favorite slasher franchise simply because it goes in depth with slasher film rules and plays off them to create the setting and just make things humorous. What's better than watching a horror movie that picks apart horror movies? And let me tell you, not many things. Basically, Sidney Prescott, her mother died or was murdered when she was young. A little bit of a spoiler. First one, she ends up dating a psychopath that slashes up a friend. Second one, she goes to college, and guess what? Murders start back up. The guy that was originally imprisoned for her mother's murder turns out to be innocent, but is murdered in the third movie where they're making another film about Scream. Within the movie, there is a franchise called Stab that is all about Ghostface and his murders, and then Scream 4 ties it nicely by making fun of reboots. Basically, each movie in itself will play upon its strengths and weaknesses as the original, as a sequel, as making the series into a trilogy, and then eventually making it as a reboot. Going over in-depth rules that have been expressed in many different slasher films, or that many viewers will know from watching them. This is creative, and honestly, I just love Neve Campbell, and Courtney Cox kicked ass in this, and David Arquette was the shit. Yeah, like, every single movie, you come face to face with the killer, get horribly maimed, and still keep on kicking throughout the entire series. Like these three, while nothing truly bad really happened to them, they did suffer severe injuries. This franchise as a whole is gruesome, funny, and if you're into horror movies, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous to just sit back and laugh while they're explaining the rules and actually following through with it. The campiness of this and the comedy aspects just kind of play into its charm. I think Scream 4, one of the dying lines of the cop was, fuck Bruce Willis, because they were joking about how cops in horror movies always die unless they're Bruce Willis. Just small details like that really make it. So, let's go ahead and go in order, and then I will do an overall rating. Scream is going to get 3 potatoes. It was campy. It was kind of, you know, more of a joke than a serious slasher film. That played into its strengths and weaknesses pretty well, but at the same time, it wasn't all that engaging. Modern audiences wouldn't go crazy over it. Scream 2 was a little more advanced, but at the same time, it took away from the original movie a bit by just having blatantly a boring killer. And it also killed off one of the most lovable characters in the franchise that would later be brought back in a movie in the third one. So this one is going to get a 2 potatoes. Scream 3, it was a slow one. Lower body count, not much happened. They did play into the potential of everyone dying, but they really didn't kill off any of the main characters. They did go back and touch on the story that created Ghostface in the first place. So this one is going to get maybe 2.5. It wasn't all that excellent. Honestly, the original trilogy, the first movie really stands out. Now, Scream 4 is going to be back up to 3 potatoes because of the creativity, because of the depths of it, because of the high body count, and the originality of it. They did an excellent job of kind of closing the franchise, showing character development, how police respond to Ghostface-related calls. Not only that, but the character development that has happened over the franchise itself. Gale and Dewey finally got married. You know, they're settling into their roles. Gale's mostly housewife and an author. Dewey is now the official sheriff. And Sydney has pretty much just been bouncing around. She wrote her own book. She's, over the course of these films, been coming to terms with the deaths and losses of loved ones that have been accumulating over the years. And it's nice to see that finally turn around. And the twist that they went ahead and played for the Ghostface duo in this one, which there's usually more than one Ghostface. with the exception of the second and third. Like, the initial formula was roughly 2 ghost faces to make it all easy to achieve, and let me tell you, people didn't see the whole 2 killer thing coming. But this one is definitely a good watch. Like, Scream 1, Scream 4, you can honestly watch those 2 back-to-back without really watching anything in between. But I definitely do recommend sitting down, watching the entire franchise. The franchise overall is going to get 4 potatoes. While none of the movies actually got 4 in and of themselves, it all comes together nicely and neatly. The overall theme is kept. They don't spoil the story. In fact, they make jokes about not fucking with the original at the end of the 4th one. It's definitely a great one. So, have you seen any of these movies? Are you planning on watching them? Go ahead and post all that in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. Keep on keeping on. I'll see you in another video. And I am too tired to do anything crazy. I know I haven't been doing a lot of crazy shit in my videos. I'm just fucking tired.